guys, and what is up? Today I'm doing my my own first impression video on this, I say new game, but H1Z1 isn't actually a newly released game globally, but it's a newly released game on the PS4, and I'm not sure on the Xbox One because I don't play it, but definitely on the PS4. Anyway, don't worry guys, this is a pre-recorded video of my very first game on the game, so you know I can sort of give a commentary as well of what I think is going on in the game and how it's sort of the vibe of the game feels, if you get what I mean. So yeah, some like long loading times, but I can cope with that because you know, the game, it's a new game, beta, and you know, loading 100 people into a fairly big map, and like Fortnite the loot's quite like basic in a building, whereas in a building on this there's normally a lot more diversity in terms of loot and inside there, so it's a lot more to render and load in compared to Fortnite. But yeah, the game, although this is older than Fortnite, it's definitely got from a person who played a lot of Fortnite before this came out, it's definitely got a feel or similarities to Fortnite. You know, how the game runs and stuff, other than the fact Fortnite hasn't got vehicles, but in terms of the gunfights, you have a lot more action-packed gunfights. You know, you have pursuits in vehicles when you're in like duos and squads, and you know what I mean, blowing each other up. You know, you've got battle for supply drops, and also, unlike Fortnite, the game H1Z1, it rewards aggressive play. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean, you know, driving straight at the enemy with a car, because that frankly is a bit annoying in the game and shouldn't be so overpowered, but that's beside the point. What I mean is, if you're aggressive and you go out looking for high-end loot, like the loot drops, it rewards you because in the basic buildings, obviously, you can, unless you find a military gate, you can only find like the right shotgun, the Hellfire, the M9, there's another pistol as well, the Magnum, the crossbow which explodes the bullets, which actually is a pretty decent gun. And is there anything else? Oh, bandages, and you know, all the basic sort of loot, like the primitive. If you get what I mean by primitive, I don't mean like, I don't mean, you know, like stone tools, primitive tools. Like, I mean like the basic, like in Fortnite terms, the common loot. And I like the way that not every building is lootable, but a lot of the buildings are lootable. And unlike Fortnite, you know, you can only like aim down sights with the snipers. Well, I like this one because I like H1Z1 better because, you know, more diversity in terms of you can, not diversity, more, you know, action, because you have longer gunfights with any weapon, because you know you've got, you can aim down sight with the Hellfire, for example, like I just said there. You can aim down sight with every single gun, the pistols, the assault rifles, the submachine guns, the crossbows, and the higher end weapons have sights that are, you know, diverse. You know what I mean? Not every gun, well, obviously unless you find the same gun, but you know what I mean, the AK-47's got a different scope to the CBQ, to the AR-15. You know, there's a lot of diversity in terms of weapons that can suit a specific person's playstyle. And, you know what I mean? The game, it's to the PS4 anyway, as I said earlier, it's fairly new, so there isn't, you know, like experienced players part there in the game. You've got, you know, decent players, but I'd like to consider myself fairly decent in the game. Not in this gameplay, in other gameplay, in like the other games I've played since then. You know, I like to consider myself fairly good. I don't reckon I'm like, you know, as good as Ninja is on Fortnite or anything, but you know, I can kill players, win games, and you know, just genuinely come close to, you know, being a decent player. Being, I wouldn't say a pro, but I reckon I've got some skill somewhere. And the thing I like about this game is it's a lot bigger map than Fortnite. In Fortnite you can run and outrun, no, not run, well yeah, you can run everywhere and you can outrun the storm. Whereas in H1Z1, you know, you can't outrun the gas. You know what I mean? So you need a vehicle, and the vehicles are fairly common anyway. But I like that feel to it because the map's so big that it's impossible to run it. And also by having the vehicles there, it adds a sense of portable cover. Because like, I'm not talking about the ATV here, but you know, like the Jeep, the pickup truck, the police car. You know, you get into a gunfight, you can turn around so you're getting out the car the opposite side of the person that's shooting at you, hop out, and you know, you're there and you've got portable cover parts. Whereas Fortnite, obviously you can build, but when you start building you can shoot down that cover really easy. Whereas in this, you know, there's natural cover around, you know what I mean? You've got the rocks, you've got the vehicles, pretty much everything in the game can be used as cover, pretty much. And you know, that adds a nice feel to the game because you're not just building, you know what I mean? You can't change the environment of the game because it's predetermined obviously, and you're not going around building stuff. But you can make your own cover with the vehicles, or you can use the trees, the rocks, the tents which are destructible. But yeah, you can hide in buildings, and you can head glitch and pre-fire from cars and all sorts of other cover, which, you know, in its own sense it has a different impact on the game, which Fortnite doesn't have, because, you know what I mean, when you're shooting you're in first person in every single weapon. So yeah, that in its own right makes the game stand out a lot more from a personal point of view, because I'm like used to first person shooters. I've played first person shooters my whole life, and yeah, I like the feel of, you know, being able to look down the sight of the opponent. In retrospect to Fortnite, how, you know, you're limited to the amount of guns that you can shoot in first person. I also like the one thing that makes the game stand out as well from Fortnite is the bleed effect in the game. So in Fortnite, yeah, you have the med kits and bandages, and everyone knows that. But you know, in H1Z1, not all the time, but a fairly good amount of the time when you get shot by a bullet, and you saw in the bottom of the clip earlier when I was in the gunfight with the guy at the tent and I got the KH-43 off him, you'll have seen that in the bottom left I was had like a little bleed effect into the health bar. And if you've not played H1Z1 and this is you're just watching videos to get a rough idea of the game, the bleed effect is basically you lose 1 HP every second until you've used a med kit or bandage. So the bandage heals you a lot more. Not the bandage, the first aid kit heals you a lot more, but it takes long to use, whereas the bandage is short. Which, you know, Fortnite, same as Fortnite really. But the bleed effect in its own right has a nice aspect, because in Fortnite, I'm talking from experience here, it's so frustrating when you've been in such a good gunfight with someone, and you know, you get them to 1 or 2 HP, and then they kill you, and it's just so frustrating because you're like, damn, I could have killed that guy. Whereas in this game, you know what I mean, if you are in that situation, 9 times out of 10, the person's not going to have enough time to bleed out, not bleed out, to bandage your first aid kit. However, there is one aspect of the game that Fortnite does stand out in, and that is in terms of, and I'm going to sound like a fanboy right now, and I guess that it's not realistic, this idea, but it, you know, it allows you, if you're in a 1v1 fight, which is kind of hard in this game, spam build, you know, everyone's seen Ninja and TSM Myth, but a revive system would be nice. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I should have more games of H1Z1 coming out soon. Peace.